Sometimes when you win the lottery, things go badly for you. You end up bankrupt. You end up dead. The unluckiest things happen to the luckiest people because there has to be some kind of whiplash and karma in your luck, right? I mean, that's how it works, doesn't it? Let's have a look at some of the dumbest lottery winners of all time.
£3 million lottery ticket in the bin to spending an entire...
A £3 million lottery ticket in the bin. Christ, I'd be bin diving for days if I knew that happened.
$16 million prize in under 90 days. These are the absolute dumbest lottery winners of all time.
That's a nice art.
Jose Antonio Cuartoc, who almost lost his entire lottery fortune after getting someone else to claim the money for him. You see, when Jose won the $750,000 jackpot back in 2010, he was living in the US illegally, so Jose...
Oh, he was living in the US illegally, so he was scared to claim it. I mean, that's a problem. See, wait, if you're scared to claim the results, then why would you buy lottery tickets in the first place? It seems like a bit of a waste of money. Unless you thought if you win a smaller prize, that you could claim the smaller prize. But if you win the big prize, then there's gonna be a lot more scrutiny on you, isn't there?
To claim the prize on his behalf, as he feared he couldn't claim the money without potentially facing legal trouble and deportation. This worked out perfectly until Jose's boss began to falsely state that he was the one who had actually purchased the ticket.
Dude, the boss tried to yoink the money from him? That's crazy. Imagine trusting your boss. Why would you trust your boss to do that? No. What you should have done is you should have got a close friend or something along those lines, unless he was in a position where he didn't have one. I would never trust my boss. Your bosses are generally not on your side. They want to pay you as little as possible to get you to do the work that you need to do. They're not to be trusted with $750,000 of your money. Oh, crikey, that's a lot.
His boss was risky, given Jose wasn't supposed to be in the country at all. However, given he had security camera footage of him purchasing the ticket, Jose did so and was able to prove that he was the rightful owner to the $750,000 prize.
Let's go! Good!
$250,000 this went to taxes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You have to pay taxes on the lottery? I don't think you have to pay taxes on the lottery in the UK. They just kind of give you the money. It's insane that you can advertise such a high prize and be like, well, guess the government's gonna take their part of it. I'm gonna turn into a libertarian and start saying that taxation is theft.
Another $250,000 was spent on court fees, and throughout the legal process, Jose was jailed for drunk driving and was deported back to Guatemala as soon as he won the court.
Yeah, I mean, you did drunk drive. You could have just not drunken and driving. At least you got some of it, though. I mean, at the very least, he did win it fair and square. At least he got some of it.
However, at least Jose Antonio Cuartoc got to keep some of his winnings, as Denise Rossi wasn't so fortunate. When Denise won a jackpot of $1.3 million back in 1996, she'd been
$1.3 million in 1996 with inflation. That's like $7 billion now.
Thomas Rossi for over 25 years, yet their relationship was apparently lacking in transparency, as Denise didn't tell her husband about the win, and instead filed for divorce only 11 days after buying the lucky ticket.
No, come on. If there's anyone that you should tell about winning the lottery, and you should not tell anyone, by the way. If you win the lottery, you do not tell a soul. You do not tell your family. You do not publicly claim it. Do not tell a single person apart from like a financial advisor that can help you handle that kind of money, because as soon as you tell someone, all love goes out the window. You're gonna start having the cousins pop up of, hey cousin, it's your cousin Roman, let's go bowling so you can pay off my student loans, hey!
I was afraid to tell Thomas because I knew he would try to take the money away from me. I went to the Lottery Commission office and told them I was married but contemplating divorce. They told me to file before I got my first check, which I did. Denise was initially successful in hiding the money from her now ex-husband.
It sounds like she was in a situation where she already wanted to get divorced, and a massive influx of money like that gives you the freedom to be able to separate yourself from a partner, which, you know, may or may not be good. I don't know what the relationship is like, but she always already wanted to get away at some point, so gives you the freedom. You're like, okay, I don't have to financially rely on this fella anymore. Let me just go ahead and scarp her.
For a whole 2 years after their divorce, Thomas had no idea that Denise had
invested all in V-Bucks.
However, in May 1999, a letter was sent to Thomas's home address asking if Denise was interested in a lump sum buyout of her lottery winnings.
Oh no, they snitched on you? Oh no. Thomas is opening that letter like, hold on a second, what's going on here?
This was the first Thomas knew about the lottery prize. He confirmed that Denise was a winner with the California lottery, and given they were still married at the time of the win, Thomas launched a lawsuit stating that he was entitled to half of the prize money. The judge specifically—
Is that technically true? I don't know. Let's find out. What do the law experts think? What does Better Call Saul think? we'll get Saul on the case.
Failure to disclose the lottery winnings constituted fraud, oppression, and malice.
Fraud, oppression, and malice? Bro, Americans don't know what oppression actually is. And malice? I don't know if you can consider that malice. There wasn't malice in the intent to steal it. You just wanted to take your winnings and go,
And
right?
as a result, the trial court awarded
It was her
Thomas
winnings.
100% of the lottery winnings, which left Denise with less than nothing, considering she also had to pay for her own legal fee.
What? He got all the cash and she got out, and she had to pay for the legal fees, and she got divorced. Oh no. Wow, that is the biggest L that a lottery winner has ever taken. Jesus
However,
Christ.
Denise's loss of 1.3 million was still nothing in comparison to Evelyn Adams. Dubbed the luckiest woman in America, Evelyn Adams became the first person in human history to...
Why is there such incredibly dark and scary music in the background now as soon as they bring up her name? I swear they're gonna start talking about how she was a serial killer, and for every dollar that she won in the lottery, she serial killed another person. She killed 5.4 million people.
win the lottery twice, initially for $3.9 million in October 1985, before winning another $1.4 million only 4 months later.
Imagine winning $4 million in the lottery in 1985, where it was worth like $7 gazillion, and thinking to yourself, you know what I need to do with this money of $4 million? I should go and buy some more lottery tickets, because who knows? And then imagine doing that and being stupid enough to do that and actually being correct and winning another $1.4 million. That would be the stupidest thing that you could do with winning the lottery and getting that much money, and it ended up paying off for her. That's insane.
With the probability of this win being approximately 1 in 17.3 trillion, Evelyn seemed to realize that she had no lottery luck left by stating that she was going to quit playing, and instead began to buy various businesses, including the convenience store where the lucky tickets had been purchased.
Oh no! Is she gonna do a little fraud? She's gonna make sure that no one wins the lottery ever again.
While you could argue that this was a smart move, Evelyn still hadn't fixed her gambling problem, and instead of buying more lottery tickets, she instead took the rest of her winnings to the Atlantic City casinos, where she lost her entire remaining fortune to the slot machines. Without any money left.
Dude, gambling addiction is bad. You'd think after winning the lottery, you'd just be like, okay, that's enough. I don't need to gamble anymore. But it's literally an addiction, so you can't get away from it that easy. Man.
By 2012, Evelyn was living in a trailer park while stating to the media, winning the lottery isn't always what it's cracked up to be.
You did get the money, you just gambled it all away. Christ, imagine the slots and spins you can do with that. Imagine rolling up to the casino table and slapping down like an easy milli.
Kelly Rogers likely had a similar outlook, as after winning over £1.8 million at the age of only 16, her life was also ruined. And
No! Having 1.8 million when you're 16 years old? God, that's a terrible idea. Do you know how many Halo DLC map packs I would have bought with that? Are you aware of how many Bioshock figures I would have bought? I would have bought every single Bioshock figure in the world.
Kelly stated, I will not go wild and spend loads. I'm gonna take some advice and see an accountant. Hopefully I will make us all comfortable. I want to help my family, but I won't change. All
right, that's a pretty level-headed way to approach this. See an accountant, have a money advisor. That's a good way to do it. I want to help my family. That's a good place to start. I can't imagine how this went wrong.
Normal home, nothing posh. I just want a normal car as well. However, as soon as she received the money, Kelly instead spent £11,500 on 2 boob jobs, £300,000 on clothes, makeup, and tattoos, as well as £85,000 on top of the range sports cars.
What? You can get boob jobs when you're 16 years old? What? £300,000 on clothes. I didn't know it was possible to own that many clothes. There should be a cutoff point. As soon as you get £250,000 worth of clothes, no more clothes. You have enough clothes. No more clothes for you. Sorry. No.
Kelly spent
To be honest, if you go to like Gucci or something like that, it's probably about like 2 hoodies and a pair of socks.
£250,000 on holidays to locations including Mexico and Euro Disney.
Bro, how do you spaff this up the wall so quickly and easily?
£1,000 on gifts to former boyfriends.
Former boyfriends? Like exes? With £118,000 on exes? Christ almighty. I mean, they would have been pretty happy about it. Jesus Christ. They're not even currently in a relationship. And she's like, hold on, don't worry. I know what'll fix this. I'll buy you a $50K car. How about it? Thoughts? Thinkers? Want to get back with me?
£90,000 in unreturned loans to friends and family members, and £50,500 on solicitors' fees, all of which being purchased while she was still in high school. Kelly did make a few smart purchases, such as an £180,000 bungalow and a £96,000 home for her mum.
Christ, okay, at least she got a tiny bit of real estate. God, she could have had so much more. She could have bought, like, in the north, she could have bought, like, 10 houses. In the south, she could have bought, like, 1/3 of a house.
By the end of the year, Callie was back to square one, being on welfare with only £2,000 left in her account.
Wait, on welfare? I mean, you could at least rent out the bungalow for a bit of money on the side, couldn't you?
She's since stated it was too much money for someone so young. Even if you say your life won't change, it does, and often not for the better.
Yeah, I just wish I was a bit older at the time of winning it, because I think at 16, you're still just a child, and overnight.
Dude, UK reality TV is some of the worst in the world. They are some of the most brutal. Look at that, from Millionaire to Benefit Street. And they just point and laugh at poor people. That's all they do on UK TV all the time. The hosts will come on in these weight loss shows and call you like a fatty crisp eater. And just do that for like 30 minutes, and that's the show.
You've just got to grow up and become an adult.
Which is probably why she's now an advocate for raising the UK's legal gambling age from 16 to 18. Kelly Rogers certainly spent her money poorly. However, at least she had the chance to spend it, as 25-year-old Amanda Clayton from Detroit was no longer alive by the end of her spending spree.
What? No longer alive? All right, I'm gonna make a prediction. Overdosed on drugs or murdered for the money.
When Amanda won the $1 million jackpot back in 2011, it seemed as though her life had been changed overnight. However, her win quickly...
Guys, come on, it's only a small winning of $1 million. I mean, what are you gonna do with only $1 million? You can't, only $1 million.
After the media learned that she was still collecting food stamps and benefit payments despite having won the lottery.
All right, mate, come on. Seriously, you need a slap for that. Collecting food stamps from people who need them? What's wrong with you?
Woman is now the second lotto winner in the state to keep taking food stamps after hitting it big. And Amanda Clayton...
Can they not know? Like, they have the name of the winner. Do they not like, oh, look, oh, this person seems to have won $1 million on the lottery recently. Maybe we should not give them food stamps anymore.
Won $1 million and took home a $700,000 lump sum. The 24-year-old says even though she now owns 2 homes, she figured she was still allowed to use a bridge card.
After being confronted...
Okay, to be fair, that is the biggest L for the government. They should have cut her off. If you're allowed to keep using something, you'd be like, all right, well, whatever, I guess I'll just keep using it. Like, I mean, you know, you probably won't think twice about it, to be fair.
Behavior, Amanda had the following to say.
I thought that they would cut me off, but...
They should! No, honestly, no, she's right. She's right, they should have cut her off. That's insane that they just let her keep using it. That's a government L.
Since they didn't, I thought maybe it was okay because I'm not working.
And shortly thereafter, she was charged with
There's a lot of millionaires that aren't working that are not allowed food stamps, Bella. I'm gonna be honest.
Counts of welfare fraud and was ordered to pay back the $5,500 worth of food stamps she'd received. While Amanda paid the $5,500 back, she never got the chance to spend the rest of the money, as only 6 months later she would unfortunately overdose in one of her 2 homes.
I hate being right. Oh God, she did overdose. Oh, that's so sad. Ah, gee, I don't want to be right. Oh God.
By the fame and the problems that came with winning the lottery.
What's the point of having money if you're not gonna have happiness?
He says she didn't want the money anymore and bought things for her family and set up college funds for her children. He says she only had $67,000 of her winnings left.
The end to Amanda Clayton's story was somewhat unexpected. However, a 2-second glance at Ryan McGee is more than
I'm sorry, Ryan McGee is an awesome name. That's such a great name.
To predict that this lottery win would eventually end in disaster.
Oh God, of course it did.
£6.4 million back in 2008 at the age of 27. Ryan was placed on the Sunday Times top 100 richest.
Wait, in 2008? Oh, I know what he did. He invested it all in real estate, and then it was worth 20p by the end of the year.
Young people. He purchased a luxury mansion in his home country of Ireland, which featured 5 bedrooms, an indoor swimming pool, a full champagne bar, and a 2-car garage where he kept his brand new Ferrari 458 Italia. However,
dude, and then the financial crash happened.
As you might expect, this is where things began to go terribly. Only 3 years after buying the Ferrari, Ryan slipped off the road, crashing the car into a field.
Oh God!
Mainly because he was driving in the snow. Locals were amazed Ryan was driving the Ferrari in that weather, especially when he had a more suitable Range Rover he could use. The Ferrari was not understood to be running on winter tires, which, while costing around £4,400, hugely boost grip and handling in icy conditions.
Oh well, you know, we're not. It's £4,400. That's pretty pretty expensive for some wheels. It's not like he had any spare cash lying around.
Ryan's property development business then dissolved, which was accompanied by a divorce from his wife and the sale of his luxury home.
Oh,
then,
dear.
2 years later, Ryan McGee was pulled over driving an uninsured Ford Focus without a license. However, the most interesting part is that he had to claim legal aid, which is a service for those who are unable to afford a lawyer. Now, Ryan McGee was a complete idiot with his money. However, he still looks like Albert Einstein when compared to Martin Todt.
We're getting into the morons now.
They won £3 million back in 2001. They didn't go in to claim the prize because, well, they had no idea that they were winners. They'd purchased a ticket in passing, completely forgotten about it, and would only come to realize that they were the winners after hearing about the unclaimed prize over 6 months later. The main problem was that at some point, the ticket had been misplaced or thrown out completely. Despite frantically searching, the pair couldn't find it.
Wait, how can they prove that they actually won it though? How is this a news story? How are they going to prove it? Did they find it?
But were sure they had won because the jackpot numbers matched the ones they used every week. Computer records in their local Londis proved Kay really had purchased the ticket, and the thrilled pair rushed to tell lottery organizer Camelot to claim their prize.
Okay.
But they fell victim to a little-known rule, stating lost tickets must be reported within 30 days.
Oh no, that sucks!
After 45 days of deliberation, Camelot told the devastated couple that they would not be collecting the jackpot, and as a
That's so good, dude, just give them the money, come on, that's so
result,
mean.
the couple's marriage eventually came to an end.
Are they divorced? Okay. Why is there so much everyone that wins the lottery divorces? Like, even if they have the happiest marriage in the world and they're completely safe and secure in their relationship and don't let money affect their relationship at all, they get divorced. It's like, it has to happen. In order to win a lottery, you have to get divorced.
We'd only known each other for 2 years, and the lottery ordeal quickly highlighted our differences. All we did was bicker. Sadly, both of us agreed we should split, and Kay moved out. Martin seems to have convinced himself that losing the ticket ended up being a good thing, having stated, "For a long time, I lost sight of who I was and what I believed in. But I can honestly say I'm glad I didn't get the $3 million now. There is no guarantee it would have brought me happiness."
It would have bought you a nice house though. To be fair, that's a really good perspective to have on the subject. He's taken it quite well. And I would not take it quite as well. I'd be like, you know what? I don't know if it would bring me happiness, but it would buy me a lot of steak. It would buy me some Wagyu fried rice.
And if there's anyone else who would have agreed with this statement, it definitely would have been the most miserable lottery winner of all time, William Post. When William won a $16.2 million jackpot back in 1988, he had just $2.46 in his bank account and was able—
Bro, you had $2.46 and you're buying lottery tickets? Oh my goodness, he was brave.
Purchased the lucky ticket by selling a ring for $40 to a local pawn shop. This, in conjunction with the time he'd spent in jail for cashing invalid checks, highlighted William Post's awful money management skills.
Oh no, he's gonna have, no, you know what? I'm gonna say it, he's gonna have no money in 6 months. He's not gonna, he's 4 months. I'll say 4 months. That's how long he lasts.
His lottery win was eventually going to be spent. Only 84 days after receiving the $16.2 million, William Post had spent the entire fortune on a boat, a lease—
What? 84 days? Bro, that's less than 3 months. I was so close.
For a restaurant in Florida, a used car lot, as well as a private jet. However, even after all of the money had been spent, Post took on a further $500,000 loan to purchase a mansion in Oil City, Pennsylvania.
Bro, why is the first thing that lottery winners do buy things like private jets? That doesn't even sound like a good idea. Like, what am I gonna do with a private jet? I don't leave my house anyway. What am I gonna do with it? How do you even buy a private jet? Does anyone know? In 1988, do you just go, hello, I would like to buy a private jet in your nearest Walmart? And they're like, oh yes, we have a private jet in the back of our car park here. We can sell to you for $8 million.
The problem was that William hadn't actually purchased the original ticket himself, and had rather given the money to his girlfriend who had bought the winning ticket for him. Because of this, she was able to successfully sue him for 1/3 of the winnings, meaning that Post now owed $5.4 million to his ex-girlfriend from the $16.2 million that he no longer had.
I mean, you can sell your assets for that, right? You could sell the private jet for the solid $8 million in the Walmart car park, surely, right?
Since Post was unable to make this payment, the judge ordered that his bank account be frozen until he was able to come up with the money. However, before he was able to sell enough stuff to pay the $5.4 million, William was arrested and ordered to serve a 6 to 24 month prison term for an assault charge from 6 years prior.
Oh, that's nasty. honestly,
At the end
damn.
of his life, Post was on his 7th marriage with over $1 million in debt and was
Bro, he was on his 7th marriage? Dude, I can't even get one. How did he get
getting
7?
by on food stamps and a job paying $450 per month. However, William Post still doesn't have the craziest lottery win story of all time.
There's a
That title
crazier
goes to
one?
Andrew Jackson Whitaker, whose
Andrew, wasn't he a
life
president?
would change forever after winning $315 million back in 2002.
315 million. In the modern day, that is $500 million and 69 cents. Very nice. Oh my god.
Unlike almost everyone else in this video, Whitaker was actually quite successful prior to winning the lottery, having built up a net worth of over $17 million with the assistance of his
Oh, bro, he doesn't need the 300 million. Come on. Give it to me. Come on. Give it to me. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me, please.
construction company. And while this would imply that he was in a position to manage a large lottery win, this isn't what would happen. Whitaker instantly
If you have no one is in a position to manage just getting $500 million out of
donated
nowhere.
10% of the winnings to churches, Christian groups, and spent a further $14 million establishing the Jack Whitaker Foundation, which provided free food and clothing for low-income families in West Virginia.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, that's okay, that's good. I mean, donating to the church groups, I don't know if all church groups really need that kind of money, because a lot of them are just like mega churches that keep all the money for themselves and literally buy private jets, and there's some like absolute grifters that act as like the priests and stuff like that. So I don't know about that, but the low income stuff, that's good. That's what we like to see.
Yes, I am. I'm helping a lot of people, and I plan to help a lot more.
He then drove back to the convenience store where he had purchased the ticket before giving the clerk a $44,000 check, a $123,000 house, and a brand new Jeep Cherokee.
Bro, this is Mr. Beast before Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast.
Which was followed by Whitaker buying himself a Lamborghini.
Could you imagine the start of a Mr. Beast video if he won, I won $300 million! And then he drives back, here's a house! Like, I mean, he does that nowadays anyway, straight up.
In which he'd drive around his neighborhood throwing money out of the window. After flaunting this wealth, his
Okay, so the richest person that ever existed was a person that lived, I believe, in Africa, and he controlled like all of the gold. And he was so rich that he would go around like this guy did, and he would throw money out of his carriage. He threw gold out of his carriage, except he threw so much money out of his carriage, now it was so much gold, that he crashed the economy of all the local places because the inflation was so high because there was so much gold being inserted into the economy.
his Lamborghini was broken
Is that what this guy did?
into, where thieves stole $545,000 in cash. However, this apparently wasn't much of a wake-up call, as his car was then broken into for the second time, resulting in the loss of a further $200,000 cash.
Bro, you have $300 million. Just install auto turrets onto your car and rocket launchers and air-seeking predator
Jack
missiles.
Whitaker's granddaughter passed away, his daughter then passed away, which was followed by a divorce with his wife.
And now you've lost your granddaughter. You're about to be divorced from your wife. Where does this ever end?
Leading him to state that he
Jesus Christ! The interviewer is just like interrogating him on all the bad things that have happened. Like, damn, your daughter's dead, your granddaughter's dead, everybody's dead, your wife doesn't love you and thinks you're ugly. Oh man, you stubbed your toe this morning. Oh, you're gonna need your hand amputated soon. Damn, it really sucks for you. It's really going bad for you, isn't it?
he had lost everything.
I pretty much lost everything I held dear in my life.
You got lots of
Oh,
money.
poor fella.
Money has never meant anything to me. You have to have money to exist in this world, but money doesn't rule the world. Money is not what makes people happy.
And that he wished he had never purchased the lottery ticket in the first place.
My wife had said she'd wished that she'd torn the ticket up. Well, I wish that we had torn the ticket up too. I just don't.
Well, damn. Well, that just goes to show, chat, if you win the lottery, just give all your money to me instead and subscribe to more patterrz.